hawk's feathers and feet. The eyes are not real. They're a special kind of marble that looks just like a hawk's eyes. So I don't touch him. And I don't touch him, and you won't touch them when you come up, because our hands have soaps and oils and hand lotions on them. And if we touch the feathers or touch the fur of these animals, then it would ruin them. Well, we do have a fur for you that you can touch. Okay, this is a hawk. What's this?
Squirrel.
Gray squirrel, just like you have out in your schoolyard. Now this little guy I will pick up with my fingertips, but we aren't going to touch him when you come up close. Okay, who's this?
Chipmunk.
Little chipmunk. This is a tiny little chipmunk. They are a very tiny little animal. What's this?
Fox.
This is a gray fox, yes. Gray fox. We have two kinds, red and gray. In Virginia, we have two kinds. And who's this?
Fairy dog. Fairy dog. Oh,
What was the day was yesterday.
Grandma.
This is a girl, okay? This is Mrs. Groundhog. And yesterday was her day, Groundhog Day. And so when she came out of her den, or was taken out of her den, if she sees her shadow, we're supposed to have a lot more winter. But I'll talk
She
about
goes back in.
Yeah, then she goes back to sleep. All right, so when it comes to all of our animals, we happen to be animals. We're animals.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not plants, are we? So we're animals. So all animals have to do something special things to stay alive in the winter. I know what I did this morning when I left my house to come here. The same thing that you did. What did I do?
Put a jacket on.
I put on a heavy coat. What else?
Gloves.
I had gloves, yes. I had gloves on. Anything else?
A hat.
I had a hat, and I had one of these.
Scarf. That's what I was
So
gonna
we can go to Kmart or to Target or something, and we have our coats and our gloves and a really, really cold day, we can even put something over our face, right? Definitely a hat. We can do that. And boots. Depends on whether there's snow. If there's snow, we dress a little differently. All right, but that's because we can do that. We're human animals. But these animals, they're wild animals. They are wild animals. None of these are tame animals. They're all wild animals. And in order to survive, they have to do special things. Now, if I happen to be a hawk like this, and this one happens to be a red-tailed hawk, but we have 5 or 6 different kinds of hawks that come through Virginia or live in Virginia. If I'm a hawk like this one, and my main food that I eat is, and this is not a real snake. Okay, some hawks love snakes. That's their favorite food. Well, if you are a snake-eating hawk, you cannot stay in Charlottesville, Virginia, or in Burnley Moran's schoolyard in the wintertime, because where is your food? Where are the snakes? Well, they certainly aren't out there right now. I mean, they're out there, but we can't see them. They're in the woods where? What happens to the snakes in the wintertime around here? When the days get really cold, the days get short, right? And what happens to them?
They hibernate.
They hibernate. They are hibernators. All of our snakes are hibernating right now. They can't be up here. So, since this hawk, they eat snakes mainly, like this hawk can't stay here either. The hawk can't stay here. We have some hawks that stay here, but that's because they're catching little mice and things that they find. But a lot of the hawks can't stay here. They go a very long way from here. They fly away and they say, I'm leaving Charlottesville. I'll be back in the spring when the days are longer and it's warmer for me. And the snakes come out of hibernation. Then I can find some food. So when they leave, what do you call it? They move away. Okay. All right, does anybody know? All right, I'm going to snap my finger and see if you know. Just say it softly. 1, 2, 3.
Migration.
They migrate. Did they go into migration? Absolutely. They are called migrators. And we have some migrators that leave Virginia. A lot of our hawks. And the hawks that are way up north where it's really cold, they migrate to a nice warm place down in South America or Central America where the snakes are all up and around and they can find plenty of food. When we get our long days and warmer and the snakes come out of hibernation, then our hawks will migrate back and then build their nests and lay their eggs and have their babies and live here until next winter, next fall. So this guy might migrate. Who's this?
Hummingbird. Oh, it's a fake puppet.
Oh. Yes, but this is, this isn't a thing.
Hummingbird.
This is a toy. Some of these I use are toys, because I have to touch them, and I don't touch the real ones. Okay, who's this?
Hummingbird.
I haven't seen one lately. In your garden out there, do you see any hummingbirds right now?
No.
You can't see any hummingbirds right now, because, where are they?
Migrate.
They migrated to a nice warm place down in South America or Central America or even in Florida, some places that are still warm. Why? Why did they leave? Why can't I find my hummingbirds out here right now? What do they eat? What does a hummingbird eat? Do you know what a hummingbird eats? Do you know what a hummingbird eats? No? You don't know what it eats with this little tongue?
I know. It eats bugs.
It does eat some bugs. A lot of people don't know that. They eat some tiny little insects to get some meat. But they don't eat, they eat bugs, but mainly they eat
Honey.
nectar, right? They eat nectar from the flowers. Well, I don't see a whole lot of flowers out there right now. So our hummingbirds did what? Migrated away, and they'll come back April 10th. They read a calendar and they come back in April. And because in April we have plenty of flowers for them and the little tiny insects. You're right, hummingbirds do eat some insects. There's some other things that migrate. I couldn't bring the whale with me today. He didn't fit in my car.
Too big.
So I have a toy. But we're in Virginia, and right off the coast of Virginia in the Atlantic Ocean, the whales migrate down right next to Virginia, and they're going to a very warm place. They're not going for food, though. The whales are going for some different reason. They migrate for a different reason.
To have babies.
They migrate down to a nice warm place in the water, and they are going to have a nice warm place to have those baby whales. Then they have the baby whales. They stay down there a while, and then all of them migrate back up north to a cold place. Got it? So we have some migrators, some other ones, monarch butterflies, and some other things migrate. So that's how they take care of themselves in the winter. All right? Now, I know some animals that go around and collect a bunch of food, and they store the food, which means they pile it up in a place where they can go and get their food in the wintertime. Can you name one? Right? Do you know something that stores their food, and they work all fall? When you all come back to school, they're busy, busy, busy collecting a bunch of food. Name one.
Squirrel.
Squirrel is one.
Oh.
Gray squirrel's one. He collects a bunch of nuts. Anything else?
I was just doing this
Oh.
because I know. Beaver.
A beaver's another. Here's Mr. Beaver. And Mr. Beaver right here, here's Beaver. The beaver worked all last fall, and he dragged sticks like this, and he put the sticks right outside his front door.
Door?
Yes,
Door.
his front door. The front door of the beaver is under the water. Under the water. He's living right up here. He lives up here in this lodge, but underneath is a underground tunnel and water that he has built. And so he swims in here to stay nice and warm and cozy, but what he does is outside his front door, here's his front door. What he does is he all works hard. Here he is, carrying something in where? How's he carrying it?
With his teeth.
With his teeth. So what he does is he takes a stick like this,
Oh, yeah. Yuck.
and he swims along in the water, and then he takes a stick out of his mouth, like this, and then he jams it down in the mud outside his door. Then he goes back. Hold that.
Oh no.
That one's down in the mud. Okay, then he goes and he gets another one. And he goes, and he takes it and jams it down next to the other one. Hold both of them, 2 hands. Okay? Then he keeps on doing it until he has 100 sticks right here, all in a big pile outside his door. So when he gets hungry in the winter, when it's really cold and windy and icy, all he has to do is go down go down under his door, and he just takes a couple sticks and takes them in his mouth, takes them back in his house, and eats. So he stores that food. Well, that's what beavers eat. No, that's what beavers eat is wood.
Because they had big.
Okay.